Hi 8th grade. This video is just to go over your study guide over gerunds, participles, infinitives, and appositives. I am going to send you the answer key, but I'm also going to talk you through the study guide just so you have an explanation and you can hear my voice. I hope you're all doing well. Miss seeing you guys every day. I'm just a message away on Jupiter if you ever need anything from me, okay? So on the study guide, the first couple are just the definitions. I'm not going to go over the definitions because they're in the study guide answer sheet I'm sending you, as well as the notes that you have. So I'm just going to start with number 1, finding the gerund in the sentence. Here, running is the answer. It ends in ing. The first thing you're going to do when you're looking for a gerund is look for words that end in ing, because a gerund is a word that is normally a verb. However, it's being used as a noun now, and it ends in ing. So it could be a subject, it could be a direct object, it could be object of a preposition, it could be any noun, like any type of noun in a sentence. So here, running is the subject, it ends in ing, so this is our gerund. Number 2, reading ends in ing, it comes after the verb, should be. You should be doing what? Reading. So reading here is being used as an activity, and it's the gerund. Number 3, same, it's an activity. Happy to be doing what? Counting. It's an activity, so gerund. Number 4, wearing ends in ing. Wearing is supportive of your school. It's being used as the subject noun here, so it's our noun, it's a gerund. Number 5, here, reading ends in ing. Likes is being used as our mental action, so likes what? Reading. This is actually being used as a direct object, if you remember those. So it's our gerund. Now, if I said Ainsley is reading a book, is reading would become the action because we're saying what she's doing. But here, what she is doing is liking something, which is a mental action, which makes this the noun. Those are kind of tricky, so you have to pay attention to those. Mental actions count. It doesn't have to be a physical action. All right, the next section, you had to tell me if the word that is, or you had to label the participles, sorry. So participles are words that are normally verbs that are being used as adjectives. They can end in ing, ed, t, en, any kind of present participle or past participle verb ending. The tricky thing about these is that gerunds also end in ing. So just because a word ends in ing doesn't automatically make it a gerund. It could also be a participle. However, if a word ends in ed, t, en, or any of those, and it's being used as an adjective, that will automatically make it a participle because gerunds cannot end in anything but ing. And I didn't finish the question for number 6. I'm very sorry. But anyways, number 6 is the worshipped hero is actually quite modest. Here, is our linking verb. So worshipped ends in ed, and it's describing hero. It's an adjective, and it's being used to describe the hero. So which hero? Worshipped. So this is our participle. Number 7, the talking students were punished. When you're looking for gerunds, you should look for words that have ing at the end, or ed, t, en, words like that. So the first thing, we see one with ing, but we also see one with ed. Okay? There is not an action verb here. We have a linking verb, were. So talking, let's look at that one first. Talking ends in ing, and it's describing students. Which students? The talking ones. So we know that's a participle. It's describing students. Punished ends in ed. It's also describing students because this is a linking verb. So this becomes a predicate adjective, and it's describing students as well. So there's 2 participles in this sentence. Number 8, the group of praying students sat quietly in church. Ing word is right here, praying. Which students? The ones that were praying. So praying is our participle. Number 9, I really wanted a venti salted caramel mocha latte. Okay, we see wanted and salted have ed at the end. All right, wanted, I really wanted something. That's our action, so we know that's not the participle. Okay, and salted is describing the latte, and this can be a verb, so we know this is describing, which makes it an adjective, which makes it our participle in the sentence. Number 10. The expecting mother sat patiently in the waiting room. We see two ing words, expecting and waiting. Okay, expecting is describing mother. Which mother? The one that's expecting. So we know that's an adjective, which makes expecting a participle. And waiting. Which room was she in? The waiting room. So that's describing which room, which also makes that a participle. So there's two in that sentence. Number 11. They could not extinguish the burning building. We have two ing words, burning and building. Let's look at burning first. Burning is telling us which building, so it's describing which building we're looking at. So this is our participle, it's an adjective. Building ends in ing, but here this is being used as a noun. They could not extinguish what? The building. So this is a noun, which makes it a gerund, not a participle. So you wouldn't label that as a participle. All right, on the next section, you had to tell me if the underlined word was being used as a participle or a gerund. So on number 12, Angelo enjoys hunting. Hunting is our underlined word. Ends in ing. Okay, he enjoys what? An activity. This is an activity, which makes it a noun, which makes hunting a gerund. Okay, I'll write that out for you. Number 13, many small towns in Indiana are considered farming communities. All right, farming is what's underlined. Now, farming can be used in every way. It could be a verb, it could be a gerund, it could be a participle. Here, it's describing communities. Which communities? Farming communities. So it's an adjective, which makes it a participle. 14, I watched the troubled teen walk away. Troubled is what's underlined. It does not end in ing. So since I've already labeled it and told you that it's a participle or a gerund, it's got to be one of the two. And it doesn't end in ing, so it's definitely not a gerund. You know this is automatically a participle. Plus, it's telling you which teen. Which teen? The troubled teen, which makes this an adjective describing teen. 15, oops, I didn't underline the word. Studying was our word. Whenever you finish studying, you should play a game. Okay, finish is our verb. Finish doing what? An activity, studying. So this is a gerund. 15 is a gerund. 16, oh man, I stopped underlining. Horseback riding requires a lot of balance. What requires a lot of balance? Riding, which is a noun, which, because it's an activity, makes it a gerund. 17, oh, underlining came back. The sinking ship slowly disappeared into the ocean. Sinking is our word. Here it's describing which ship, the sinking ship, so it's an adjective, which makes it a participle. And 18, I wish you didn't drink the expired milk. Ugh, that would be gross. Here, it's underlined. It doesn't end in ing, so that automatically makes it a participle. Plus, it's telling you which milk, the expired milk. All right, on the next section, you had to tell me what the infinitive was in a sentence. And if you remember, an infinitive is to plus a verb. Okay, it won't be anything else ever. So to run, to jump, to skip. It will not be phrases like to the store or go to the right. You won't have a noun after that or a direction. It's always going to be to plus an action verb. So in number 19, the person to contact is the mother of the bride. To contact, to plus a verb. Easy peasy. Number 20, this is easy to do. To do, to plus the verb. 21, my mom likes to paint. To paint, to plus the verb. 22, to love and be loved is life's greatest gift. To love is the answer. To plus the verb. 23, you are not allowed to cheat. To cheat, to plus the verb. 24, I need to run to the store for strawberries. To run is to plus the verb, so there's our infinitive. To the store is not an infinitive. This is a prepositional phrase because to the store is not a verb. This is a noun. Okay, so this is not an infinitive. Do not label that. And 25, you need to study for your quiz. To plus the verb is to study. And remember, when you're labeling infinitives on the quiz, if you have to type it in, if you don't include the word to, it's not an infinitive and it'll be half credit. So when you're writing infinitives or you're labeling infinitives in your homework or on the quiz, you have to include the word to. Otherwise, it's not an infinitive. All right, on the next section, you needed to underline the appositive in each sentence. Okay? Appositives are noun or noun phrases that describe a previous noun. So an appositive is always going to come directly after the noun it's describing. It's basically like a noun that's being used as an adjective because it's giving more information, but it comes after the noun it's describing. So in 26, the great and powerful vigilante Robin Hood, oh, I have Zorro on the study guide, my bad guys, Zorro kept the townspeople safe. All right? Who is keeping the townspeople safe? The vigilante Zorro. So here's two nouns right next to each other, a noun and then a proper noun. This one comes second, so Zorro is the appositive. Okay, appositives can be one word, they could be 10 words. Sometimes they'll be long, sometimes they'll be one word. So Zorro is the appositive in number 26. Because this is giving more information about which vigilante. 27. The math teacher, Mr. English, is an 8th grade homeroom teacher. So we're looking for two nouns that are right next to each other. We see teacher and Mr. English, a common noun and a proper noun. And again, it comes after, so Mr. English is going to be the appositive describing teacher, because we can take the appositives out of the sentences and the sentence will still make sense. The math teacher is an 8th grade homeroom teacher. That still makes 100% sense. We're giving more details when we add an appositive to a sentence. If you'll notice, when you write an appositive and it's a name, whether it's one or two words, if it's a name, there are no commas that separate it from the sentence because they don't need to be there. When there's names and appositives, you don't put commas. 28. After the thunderstorm, the Reds, the home team, were up to bat. So here, the first hint when you're looking for appositives that aren't names is the commas. Commas are going to be around all appositive phrases because you can take it out of a sentence and it still makes sense. And remember, the appositives come second. So if you're confused or you're not sure which one it is, it's always going to be the second noun. So here we have two things surrounded by commas, the Reds and the home team. However, the home team is what comes second, so this is the appositive. Okay, we could take this out. After the thunderstorm, the Reds were up to bat, and the sentence still makes sense. So this is our appositive phrase. It's a noun phrase describing the Reds. 29. The painting, a mural in many bright colors, is worth almost $1 million. Here we see commas around a noun phrase, a mural in many bright colors. It comes directly after another noun. So we know this is the appositive phrase describing the painting, and you could still say the painting is worth almost $1 million. 30. The dog Scout runs around chasing rabbits. Here we have two nouns right next to each other. Dog, common noun. Scout, proper noun because that's the dog's name. This comes second, so we know it's the appositive even though there's no commas because we don't use commas when it's a noun. Okay, so you could still say the dog runs around chasing rabbits. Right, and the last section. You have to take the two sentences I give you, and combine them into one with an appositive. So here, Madeline is an 8th grader. She loves to play softball. We could say, the first thing I want you to look at is find out or look if there's a sentence that has is. Is an easy sentence to turn into an appositive because all you got to do is cross out is and put 2 commas and get rid of the next subject. So you would say Madeline, comma, an 8th grader, comma, loves to play softball. And this becomes the appositive. Okay, and you can still take out the appositive and the sentence will still make sense. Madeline loves to play softball. Number 2, because my numbering is hard. Numbers are hard, don't forget that. Please don't judge. My favorite book series is Harry Potter. There are 7 books total. Okay, to change this, we see is again. We can change this and get rid of is. Okay, you would actually write out Harry Potter. I just abbreviated for sake of time and my sanity of my wrist. Okay, my favorite book series, comma, Harry Potter series. And then you just have to kind of, you can reword sentences. So here you wouldn't say my favorite book series, the Harry Potter series, are 7 books total. You can change words. Like I would change this to has because our 100% does not make sense there. So you would say my favorite book series, the Harry Potter series, has 7 books total. Okay, you can change sentences, you can add words, you can take words out. I'm not going to be super picky, and there's no super one correct answer for this. You can probably figure out a different way to do all of this. You could say Madeline, comma, the softball player, comma, is an 8th grader. You can change sentences around. I'm not going to be super picky about this. So this is kind of, it's your free ticket to write sentences the way you want as long as there's an appositive. Don't forget there has to be an appositive. Number 3, Fortnite is a video game. It is played by teenagers everywhere. This is one that could definitely be written in more than one way because is in both sentences. So we could say Fortnite, comma, a video game, comma, is played by teenagers everywhere. This would be the appositive. You don't have to label your appositives. I'm just doing this to help you. Number 4, this one was tricky. I even struggled at first writing the appositive. The authentic signed Jackie Robinson baseball is worth thousands of dollars. My dad owns the authentic signed Jackie Robinson ball. So here, what I would do, actually it's really up to you. This is how I did it. I'm just going to write it real quick. Yeah, you could say, my dad owns a baseball worth thousands of dollars, comma, a ball signed by Jackie Robinson. Here, it doesn't come immediately after the noun we're describing because we're describing baseball, but this is also describing the baseball. So that's one way you could do it, because you could still just say, my dad owns a baseball worth thousands of dollars. You could also say, my dad owns a baseball signed by Jackie Robinson, comma, a ball worth thousands of dollars. As long as you have that noun phrase or that noun that comes after the noun it's describing, I'm not going to be super picky. And the last one. The park is located down the street. The park has a slide, swing set, and a merry-go-round. So here, I changed the wording in this one a little bit. I added a word or two. So I said, the park, a place with a slide, swing set, and a merry-go-round is located down the street. Okay, so my positive here would be a place with a slide, swing set, and merry-go-round. So you could take that out and say the park is located down the street. Okay, that's all I have for you. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to message me on Jupiter. Let me know if you need help with anything, and good luck with your quiz.